Illinois takes on Colgate Friday night. This is a Colgate team you are familiar with because Colgate opened the season on the road in East Lansing in the Breslin Center against your Michigan State Spartans. We covered that game, and I think we nailed the prediction on that game that it would be a little too close for comfort. It was like, what, a 17 or 18 point spread, I want to say.
Mhm.
And in the end, it was an 11-point win for Michigan State that I think was close. It was a 1 point game midway through the second half. So Colgate is a team that is interesting for a lot of reasons specific to this game with Illinois. Number one, Cameron Crocker, Illinois' new assistant coach, comes directly from Colgate, where he was their quote unquote defensive coordinator for 3 years. Now he is running the Illinois defense. This will be a not a homecoming of sorts because it's in Champaign, but a lot of friendly faces against his old staff members. Two, Colgate is a team that is a good mid-major program under Matt Langell. They've had a lot of successful seasons, three straight 20-win seasons before last year when they were 14 and 19. But they are picked highly in the Patriot League this year. They've got an all-Patriot League guard in Jalen Cox, who was very good in the Michigan State game. And in general, even last year in a down year, Colgate has held up really well in their biggest non-conference games of the season. They covered against Michigan State and made things interesting. Last year, they took Syracuse down to the final possession, lost by just two. And they also went to Rupp Arena against Kentucky and played Kentucky better than anyone in the non con did, losing by just 11 points to Kentucky. So a lot of the players, the best players on this Colgate team, were the players on last year's team that performed well in big games. I think it is fair to say, looking at the Langell era, this is a program that knows how to compete against good programs. Now you've got an Illinois team that I think looks like the best team in the country and will be a tougher test for Colgate than any of these other games that I mentioned. What are you expecting? What is the threat level of this Colgate team that is ranked 180th on KenPom coming into Champaign?
So I think a lot of this, and we said this with a lot of teams, but it is a real thing when we talk about it, is that like Illinois is coming off a massive win, right? A massive win against Texas Tech on national TV, FS1. Like it's a big win. Everyone's talking about Illinois basketball right now, even more than they were before. Like we were talking about it after those first two games, but there were a couple people who were like, well, okay, it was against Florida Gulf Coast and whoever that first team they were played, and then they were able to get a win at home without one of their best players in Big T, and everyone is talking about the Illini and what they can do, and as far as like how far they can go and everything associated with that, right? So it really is a mental focus type thing for a game that's like, Friday night against a Colgate team who, you know, I'm not saying Michigan State is the greatest team of all time or anything like that, but in watching that game, they got some guys that can go.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if I believe in those guys doing what they did, like they did the Michigan State's front court. I was a little bit disappointed in what they did the Michigan State's front court, but I think his name is Alisenko, Sam Wright. Like those guys are kind of like weird 6'8" forward center, tough guys to check. They can shoot the ball a little bit. Jalen Cox was first team All Patriot League last year, I believe, and Defensive Player of the Year or on the All Defensive team. He's really good in his own right. So they got some pretty good players. They hung around with Michigan State. I was impressed with the way that they played. So it is one that I wouldn't constitute and put them in the bucket of total cupcake.
Yeah, they're not. I think they're a feisty mid-major opponent. I really
Feisty is a good word.
I do. Now, they're also a mid-major opponent that won 14 games last year,
Hmm.
largely around the players on this team. They didn't add any superstars from the portal that are like have changed fundamentally the team that won 14 games last year to this year. But last
Well,
year was like
what's the Alisenko guy's a freshman though?
Alcenko is a freshman, correct?
Yeah.
Which he's been good. He had 6 against Northeastern. Eh,
Did he?
yeah.
Damn it.
He had 18 against Drexel. 12 of them came at the free throw line. He's good. You're right. He was good against Michigan State. But the point is, like, this is largely Jalen Cox and Sam Wright to me. Sam
Mhm.
Wright, to me, has been their best player, actually, which is a surprise because Cox was supposed to be the star. Cox is a star. I think he's held up well. But Sam Wright is a role player from last year's team, a junior big man for Colgate this year. He had 17 against Michigan State Back that up with 16 against Northeastern, 22 against Drexel. He's not a great rebounder, but he can score down low. And to me, this team is Wright and Cox. We're coming off a game. Obviously, I don't even want to do this, but we just watched JT Toppin score, what, 36 against Illinois?
Mhm.
Sam Wright is not JT Toppin. He cannot replicate that. But I do think if I'm Sam Wright and I'm watching film on Illinois, I'm like, oh, I might be able to score in this game. Not saying I can do what JT Toppin can do, but I'm thinking I'm going to need a big night to keep us in this one. More so than Jalen Cox is going to have success against Kylan Boswell.
Right. Yeah, like that would be the path. And this is a team that has I wouldn't necessarily say they got like burners as shooters from 3-point range, but they have guys that can knock down shots,
Yeah.
right? So that I mean that's obviously a big part of any upset is where you want to be able to shoot the ball from three. Um, so yeah, I think that feisty is a pretty good term to use. Now, the good thing for Illinois is that Illinois is feisty too. They're also fucking nasty. So like, I'm sorry, like they are.
Yep.
So there's that.
So Colgate is shooting 38% from three, 30, or excuse me, 84% from the free throw line. They don't beat themselves in terms of shot making. Like
Mhm.
if they get open looks, I don't think they're gonna like go cold and be terrible. They take advantage of opportunities that you give them. Illinois is gonna have to be like tightened up and bring attention to this game. Um, the big advantage, other than Illinois just being big and better at every position, the big schematic advantage here is that Colgate doesn't rebound at all, almost by design. They send nobody to the offensive glass. They're a really bad defensive rebounding team. Against Michigan State, they had 3 offensive rebounds. Now, Michigan State's a good rebounding team. Illinois is an elite rebounding team. There's a world truly where Colgate doesn't get an offensive rebound tonight. So I think if you're looking like how does Illinois dominate this game, how do they win by 40? It starts and ends with they destroy them on the boards, get as many second chances as they can offensively, and we know Illinois wants to do that. Brad mentions it every single press conference. He wants guys crashing. They should be able to crash with immense success in this game. And even if Colgate is making their shots, that's going to make it hard to envision a game where this is tied late in the second half. It's really just can Colgate keep this within 25 or not? What's your gut say on that before we get to predictions?
That they can't. I just think that the size, the skill will overwhelm Colgate in this one. I think that Avicic should be able to get whatever he wants. Merck should be able to get whatever he wants. Even outside of like the guards, like if they put Andre out there, there's no one on Colgate that could check him. There's no one on Colgate that could check Keaton Wagler. I mean, this is we're possibly looking at the best offense in the country, and Colgate, I don't think has enough defensively to throw that off. And if Illinois misses, to your point, I think Illinois gets it back.
Yeah, they will.
So I look, I'm there's ways to look at these games. If you want to upset someone, you got to bomb threes. Even if they bomb threes in this game, I don't think they're going to be able to. If your approach to upsetting Illinois is out offense them, then you're going to lose.
I mean, I think their approach is play slow, take care of the basketball, get to the free throw line, make shots, and that is a formula I think can keep it closer than you expect. I guess I'll hint at where I'm headed with this. I wrote the preview of this game for Action Network. I actually think this is a terrible spot for Illinois, and I mean, I think I'm as high as anyone on this Illinois team. Is
Hmm.
that fair to say?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, I genuinely believe this is the best team in the country right now.
Yeah, there's no one higher on them than you.
I genuinely believe that's what this team is. This is a terrible spot for them for a multitude of reasons. So we're coming off the emotional win over Texas Tech. This is a Friday night, 9 p.m. sleepy. Are we going to the bar after game? This is one game before Alabama, their first non-State Farm Center game of the season. It's a total sandwich spot. I would not blame anyone on the Illinois roster for like looking ahead to Bama and or being a little emotionally hungover from Texas Tech. You add to that, Colgate has a history as a program under Langell of being a really tough out in games like this. And the fact that Cam Crocker, I think, is friends with everyone on the Colgate staff
Mhm.
It's a weird game. It's just a weird game. And look, maybe this Illinois team is so different than past versions of Illinois that we should throw out anything Illinois has done in previous seasons. But I would point to the fact that almost every year Illinois has had a very sleepyhead home game around this point in the season, right? Don't they usually come out on fire and look amazing? And then, like game 3 last year, they beat Oakland by 12. Game 2 last year, they beat Oakland by 11. What was it the year before? I guess they really didn't have a super sleepy one the year they beat Texas early. But I don't know. They're usually every year there's kind of UT Rio Grande Valley in 22. They beat by 9.
Mhm.
There's usually one like what was going on tonight game. And I
Yeah.
think if there's going to be a what was going on tonight game, it's the game in between Texas Tech and Alabama against Cam Crocker's friends.
I guess Cam Crocker's old pals.
Yeah, like I don't know how bad Illinois wants to win by 70 here. The only thing that gets in the way of that for me is that David Mirkovich doesn't give a fuck who Cam Crocker's friends with.
Whoa.
He doesn't.
Double F bombs?
Yeah, we double F'd him, but that's this Illinois team, man. They're freaks.
That is true. You think Merck's like that your friend?
Probably. Yeah, like honestly,
He's
like
he's gonna hold Sam Wright by his jersey right in front of Cam Crocker, him have him elevated off the ground, be like, this is your man's?
they literally get through like pregame announcements. They're about to do the tip, and Merck just walks up to Crocker and say, "That your friend?" And
You
Crocker's like,
die.
Merc, no, no,
No,
that's
Merck.
no, I'm not. No. Merc, like, I kill your friend.
You like him more than me?
We'll see. Do you think my suspicions are on anything or valid or no? Are you just throwing everything I said out the window?
No, I'm not because at the heart of Illinois basketball, it's when you're at your highest when they do something that brings you back to earth.
Yep.
And I'm not even saying like bring you back to earth like lose. I'm like bring you back to earth. Oh, why was this game close for so long?
Yep.
Kind of situation, or within striking distance for so long.
Yep. Okay. All right. With that said, let's get to predictions. Ken Palm has this 94 to 68, a 26-point win for Illinois, favored by roughly 10 points more than Michigan State was. Um, I'll just say I'm on Colgate here. It's not going to move me off of the idea that Illinois is the best team in the country. Illinois could win this game by 10, and I'm going to feel like they're the best team in the country.
Mm,
I think this is a horrific spot. I think Colgate's really good against teams like this. And I think Cam Crocker doesn't want to beat his friends by 90.
that's fair. That's fair. You moved me. You moved me.
Illinois by 16 is my official prediction.
16. All right. Uh, where's this game?
State Farm Center, Champaign, Illinois.
Show. 102 to 57.